Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain.
I'm Juliana.
And today we are going to be reviewing this game and showing you how to play it. This is Radioactive Bees, who was sent to us by the designer Jose L. Navas T. Now, this game is going to be coming to Kickstarter shortly. I'm going to put up on the screen here the exact date when I know it. I'm going to edit this together with the date here. And he sent us this copy. He did a limited edition run that is very close to what it's going to look like in production. As you can see, this actually looks like a production box here, so that we can actually do a proper review rather than just a preview on it.
Yeah.
So big thank you to Jose. Thank you for sending us this copy of Radioactive Bees to check out, play, and review. And before we get into talking about the game, I do want to say, if you're in a position to and would like to help out the channel, there's a link to my Patreon in the description down below where you can get tons of cool perks. And if you want to get yourself some cool gamer gear like t-shirts and mugs, there's a link to my Teespring store in the description down below. So now, Radioactive Bees. So he's currently listing it as 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, and a 45-minute game. So I'm going to say that, so the 2 to 4 players, this game plays well at 2 and it plays at
3, 2, really
3
well.
and 4. Now, the 8 and up, I think this is one of those cases where this is accurate, but you're not going to get the full strategies.
No, and I feel like a lot of this, like, because it does seem like a simple game on the surface, but as we have, we played it a few times, and it just, there are so many more complexities into it, and that's like an 8-year-old's not going to understand.
So, like, if you're playing it with an 8-year-old with other 8-year-olds, I think you're going to be fine, but if you're playing with adults who are not taking it easy on you, that could be tough, because there's a lot of depth to the strategy in this, for sure. You're definitely
Absolutely,
right.
yeah.
The 45 minutes, I wish they'd have done a range, but this is probably in the middle of the range. I mean, it can go longer, it can go shorter, but that's actually pretty good estimate.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the games that we played were, like, around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And But it can even be quicker, especially once you've played it a couple times. This is one of those games that you can slam out in a really short amount of time, which is great. So we've got a rule book here. Now, the rule book is, there's going to be some slight adjustments. He's already told me the adjustments that are being made. So I can tell you from the rule book here, there was only really one issue I had with it, and he's fixing it, which means when produced, this is going to be a fantastic rule book. Again, one problem I had with the rule book that he said is going to be fixed for the final production. Yeah.
I love this rule book because it is concise and it has everything that you need. Like, I was able to read it and feel confident in playing. So
then we've got a plastic baggie full of the cool neon orange. I think they might be changed to green in the production version for the radiation rings. They're like neon orange rings and also mutant queen tokens. These remind me of like the late 80s, early 90s when everything was like this neon bright plastic color.
Oh, yeah.
I remember, like, even back then, you would go into a store and even, like, the charity boxes were made out of this kind of plastic.
Oh, yeah, that exact same material, yeah.
So then you've got a bag. This is just to hold the pieces in. And the pieces are these wonderful tiles. Oh, these clunk, like, they're just clacktastic. I love that.
And they fit together perfectly.
It's so satisfying. So they're these wonderful tiles with these awesome pictures of it's a mix between a bee and the radiation symbol. You've got different colors for the different players. There's straight ones, there's elbows, and there's triangles. Yeah, I have no complaints about these. These are fantastic. And you're right, the way they fit together, especially because they have to fit together across multiple of them as you're building up the layers on the board, is so great.
The clicking noise, like, it's just, it's so nice.
It's like ASMR.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Wonderful. And then you've got some tiny little wooden counters for the scoreboard. I know you were saying you wished that both these and the scoreboard were bigger.
Yes. So we're about to look at the scoreboard. So managing multiple players on the scoreboard, honestly,
The scoreboard's around the outside here.
it was just hard to tell, what space you were on. So if these were just a little bit bigger, that would be preferable in my opinion.
Now,
but,
granted, that's a fairly minor gripe,
yeah,
but valid. But the playing board is fantastic. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but these are recessed spaces that the tiles fit and lock into and will not move, and then they fit and lock into each other as they stack up 2, 3, 4, and 5 rows high, which is totally something that can and will happen during games.
Oh yeah.
And I love the colors.
Yeah, the colors are just perfect.
Oh, it's bright and gorgeous. Oh, absolutely cool.
Radioactive.
So we're going to go to the table and we're going to play through a full round of this game at 3 players because we really liked this game at 3 players. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how this game plays and feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, so here we are set up to play a 3-player game of Radioactive Bees. So in order to play on your turn, you're going to pick one of your pieces. You have straights, 3 straight in a row. You have elbows, which have these kind of bends here. And you have triangles. And you're going to collect your pieces, different numbers of each of them based on how many people are playing. And on your turn, you're going to place one of them on the board. You can place it anywhere on the board when you're making the first level. But once you've got a bunch of these on the board, in order to do a piece on the second level when there's nowhere left to play on the board, if this was all filled up and there were no numbers of spaces left that we could put one of our pieces in, you would start playing on the second level. And there's certain very specific rules you need to know to play on a second level. On a higher level, you have to play never hanging over the edge. You must always be on top of 2 or more pieces. So since these are 2 separate pieces, this would be a legal move, but you could not play straight on top of this one single piece. That would be illegal. And if you cover any of your opponent's pieces, you will give them points. Your opponents get points for covering up their bees, 1 point for their bee. And if their bees already have radioactive rings in it, each radioactive ring gives an extra point for covering them up. Now, you play until no one can make a legal move, at which point all visible bees will get a single radioactive ring. If they already have the biggest one, they get the next biggest, which fills in smaller inside the ring, and you then take all of your tiles off the board and start the next round. You play until somebody gets at least one fully filled in bee with all the rings and the mutant queen symbol in the middle, at which point, at the end of that round, the game will end, and you count up final scoring, which I'm going to go over after we show you how this plays for a round of play. So we decide randomly who goes first, and then each extra round who goes first rotates clockwise around the table. So I'm going to go first for this example, and I'm just going to throw one tile out there. So Lynn just played there. Now, her cutting off this piece here means this will definitely not be available when we get up to the second level of tile placement. And then Juliana's playing over there. I'm going to throw in a piece over here. Oh, fully filling it in. Okay. Fair enough. I'm going to do a little of that. Ooh, so now these 2 pieces have been cut off because no one will have a piece they can fit in there, so those will not be on the second level. Fair enough. And we're going to have a void in the middle there as well. So now Lynn is going to have to play up on the second level, and again, she has to cover over parts of 2 of the tiles and cannot overhang any of the voids. And now, did you cover one of...
They covered a black, so they get 1 point.
1 point. Black is on the scoreboard. Okay, I'm going to play a triangle there. 2 more points for black. Ooh, black's taking an early lead.
2 points for red.
Oh, I'll put him on the board. That's me. Okay, I'm gonna play over here and give a point. I'm gonna go here. Yeah, I'm gonna go here and give a point each to green and black. There we go.
I'm gonna give 3 points to red.
Woot!
I'm not going to give any points to anyone.
Fair enough.
Oh, I think you have the
Oh.
Oh yeah, you do. You can still play here.
Or here.
No, yes, you're right. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I thought that
you're
was
right.
one piece for a minute.
We'll do one of each.
So
One to red,
red
one to green.
and green each get a point. Excellent. Yeah, I was
It's
gonna say there's
hard for
nowhere
me to
left.
see over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nowhere left on the first level now, so I got to go up to the second. But there are lots, and I do mean lots of places on the second level to not have to give people tons of points. So that's good. I'm gonna go here and not give any points.
One point to green.
Now, I'm going to be sneaky and do a protection maneuver here because now these pieces cannot be played on, which means I'm definitely going to get radiation rings in them.
2 points to black.
Why, thank you.
This piece is upside down.
Was that bothering you?
Yes.
I can't play on the same level, so I actually have to go up to
To the next level.
the next level. So I'm going.
Linda's the only one who can play on the last
Mhm.
level, actually, yeah. Because she's the only one with triangle pieces left, and that triangle is the only place where anyone could play there. So that's one to each of us?
Here. Yes.
One to red, one to green. Okay. Decisions. I think to protect this one here, what I'm going to do is cover some of my own, but make it in a way that no one can block that one off. Interesting, yes. That opens up some more opportunities.
2 points to green.
Green gets 2 points. I am going to give, let's see here, I'm going to go 1 point to green. Our real estate is running low.
Do 1 point to red.
I'll take your point. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I think I am out of places to play. I'm just going to double check because I've only got 2 straightaways and I've got no place on the current level or the next level I can fit them. I have to pass. I'm done.
Yeah, Lynn's the only one who can play.
Yeah. So 1 point to black.
Okay. And then, yes, and then no one can play the last couple pieces there. So now what happens is we now fill in all of the visible bees with these large radioactive rings. So at this point, we've now filled them all in with 1 radiation ring each for all the visible bees. We would then take all of the tiles off and take them back, and all of the ones with rings keep their rings. And if someone plays on top of them in a future round, they are now worth 2 points instead of just 1 point. However, if they stay face up in a future round, they will get another ring played inside them. And if they were to say stay face up visible in a future round after that, they would get the smallest ring inside them. And in a future round after that, they could wind up getting the mutant queen token placed all the way on the inside. In the round in which the mutant queen token appears, that end of that round, the game is over, and we do final scoring. In the final scoring, you add up the points you earned from people playing on top of you during the rounds of the game, usually around 4 rounds. And then you also add up points based on all the rings you have earned. Each ring is worth 1 point. Each mutant queen symbol is worth 2 points, meaning that a mutant queen is worth a total of 5 points, 3 points for the 3 rings, 2 points for the mutant queen, 5 points for a mutant queen, which can be very make or break for your final scoring. So now we're going to head back and we're going to talk about how this game plays and how it feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Welcome back. So we are back from showing you how to play a game of Radioactive Bees. It really is that simple. We went through a full round. Now in future rounds, of course, the bees would get more and more rings, and eventually you would get those mutant queens, which triggered the end of the game.
Right.
Okay, so the rules are very simple, but holy crud, is the strategy deep on this one.
Yeah, I feel like there were multiple times when the 3 of us were standing over the board trying to figure out where to place to protect our bees.
Well, yeah, because it's not just about, like, okay, so one, you have the debate of, do I play in my opponent's bees and give them points now, but stop them from getting radiation rings? Or do I not give them points and let them get the radiation rings, which are going to give them points later, guaranteed? And it's short-term benefits versus long-term goals. What is better? But then on top of that, there's also times where you're like, I'm going to cover up some of my own bees just to make these bees unable for anyone to play on them, so they'll definitely get radiation rings.
Yeah, I think part of the thing that you were doing is you kept giving both Lynn and me points.
Well, because I was stopping you from getting rings.
Right, and then you had so many rings, and it was crazy. So I think, your strategy definitely worked out for you.
I think it definitely, a very viable strategy in this game is to start slow and plan for the long game. Start slow. Let people jump all over you. It's fine. Throw a bunch of stuff in the middle, but then leave some on the out that are just going to sit there and be protected. And you're like waiting and like, oh, look, I got a bunch of rings. Oh, but look, I'm doing terrible in points. I'm not doing good. Oh, I'm not winning.
But you were doing well in points and in rings.
By the end.
Yeah. So, but no, I thought that it was a really, really fun game.
The thing that is coolest for me about this is the positional strategy, the way to block off areas to make it impossible for other people to play there so that you can protect your bees. That is the thing that I enjoy the most. When you outmaneuver your opponent and protect your bee that has 3 rings on it, forcing it to become a mutant queen, that's very rewarding. It's incredibly rewarding to have that happen, and I love that.
And I really enjoy it once you get into later rounds when there are more radioactive rings on your own pieces and your opponent's pieces. Then it's even more maneuvering because it's like, okay, I'd rather cover up one that has 1 ring versus 3 rings, and
because I'll give them a lot more points.
Exactly. So I just thought that was it's a good design.
This is I don't throw this word around, all willy nilly. This design is brilliant. It is truly brilliant. This designer, I believe, had a real stroke of genius on this one. It's just great. It's elegant.
It is.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the setup is easy and the cleanup is easy too, which is like you don't get that in a lot of games that are considered brilliant.
Yeah.
Right.
This is one that I think I definitely think is a great one to promote that sort of positional strategy and positional awareness. It's a real one that helps you to think outside the box and plan ahead, and it really is very fun. I like it at 2 players. I like it at 3 players. I haven't tried it at 4 yet. I've mainly been playing it at 2 and 3, but I think it's great at both. And I imagine I would like it at 4. I can't imagine that I'd be like, oh yeah, 2 is great, 3 is awesome, but 4, no way. That's not going to happen.
I think at 4 it'll be even more interesting because there's just going to be more places to place things, and you might even get higher than 4 levels or however many we usually get. So
I've been struggling on my rating for this, but I think I'm ready for it. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah, you go first.
I'm not sure. You want me to go first?
Yeah, I want you. Well, okay, do you want me to go first?
Well, I'll go first if you want me to go first. It's fine.
Because I already have my rating.
I got my rating too.
Okay, all right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to go 8.5 stars out of 10 on this. Now, this is, again, contingent on the fact that the production will not change very much between this and the production copy. As long as it doesn't, as long as it stays very, very similar to how it looks and the materials are very, very similar, I would go 8.5 stars out of 10 on this because I think this is an absolutely fantastic game, incredibly fun, very well made, very enjoyable, a lot of depth, and you're going to have a lot of variety in games, so you're going to want to play it again and again and again and again. 8.5 stars out of 10. I really like this one.
Yeah, I'm right up there with you. I was at an 8 out of 10 for this one. I would happily play this anytime. Like I said, it's easy to set up. It's easy to teach. I feel like I picked it up. When you taught me for the first time, it was like, okay, this makes perfect sense. And I love games like that. It's intuitive.
It really is.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't tell, we love this game. We're very much gushing about it because it's really good. So this is coming to Kickstarter. If you want to kickstart it, supporting independent game designers who come up with really cool and interesting designs, you know what? If anything we talked about sounds like fun to you, I would definitely recommend you back this Kickstarter. I think this game is great, and I would definitely recommend it to you. Again, as long as you like positional strategy, you like stacking games, you like tile placement games, this is the game for you.
Absolutely. And it's got a fun theme. I mean, who doesn't like bees and
And the
radioactivity?
post-apocalypse.
Yes.
What a unique theme. We didn't even touch on that.
No.
This is bees in the post-apocalypse. That is the theme of this game. I mean, really, it's kind of an abstract game, so the theme could have just been bees. It could have just been bees getting honey and building up hives. But I love that the designer chose to go with such a unique and fun theme. Bees in the post-apocalypse.
And I don't think we talked about this, but like the bee is a radioactive symbol.
Yeah,
and then there's wings and like yeah,
it's got the three radioactive.
It's so simple, but it's genius.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah. Okay, I was 8.5 and 8 stars respectively. That is 16.5 stars total for our review here from us at the Board Game Captain. This is 2 thumbs way up.
Oh, yeah.
Get some thumbs up there for me.
I mean, yeah, all the way up.
So if you enjoyed this review and tutorial video and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give it a like. Share it on all forms of social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns on Radioactive Bees, be sure to comment down below. And you know what? Comment down below and let me know if you're going to back the Kickstarter. Right down below. And until next time, game on.